As I unlocked the doors of the church this morning, the smell of the steaks on the grill was still in the air, and I saw all the candles on the table that were lit last night, some for people that are no longer here because of their journey with cancer, and others who were there who were kind of celebrating their being a survivor of cancer. I stood in Charter Hall and I could still hear Zach Sislo sang a song that he wrote when he was in college entitled Lead Shoes. It's about wishing somebody were back and you could just send that person in heaven a pair of lead shoes, and they'd put on those lead shoes and they'd drop back to earth for a few days so we could have them back for a while. I remember the first steak fry years ago after my brother died, and we asked if people would like to just get up and share their story, and about 4 or 5 people got up. Then last night when we asked people to get up and share their story, the line wrapped around Charter Hall. About 40 or 45 of you shared your story. And we listened and we applauded and we laughed a few times, we cried a lot, there was just all kinds of emotions in the air. People that we didn't even know who were visitors got up and talked to us like we were close friends, and you just could feel the connection and the power even though a lot of us didn't really know each other. You know, the power of prayer. Even though we often don't get the answers we want, just when you pray and you come together, in some way you're reminded that in this thing, even cancer, we are not alone. Some of us get cured, some don't. Some of our wishes come true, some of us don't. But there's always love, and there's always hope. You know as well as I do, whether it's yourself personally or somebody you love, that cancer is a life-changing experience. Because when you got cancer, it takes over your life. It affects everything. Your spirit, your body, your appetite. It affects the way you go to work. It affects your life, your family's life, your friend's life. And in an ironic way, cancer kind of becomes our teacher. It teaches us never to take any moment that we have for granted. It teaches us not to waste time on stuff that really doesn't matter. It teaches us to love more and to hug more and to forgive more and to let go of those jealousies and harsh words that so often keep us apart, and all those grievances that keep us away from people that we're supposed to love. Shove them aside, because there's not enough time for that. You know, make that phone call, make the visit, swallow your stubborn pride and your me-first attitude, and let's take the high road, even though on the high road the air gets kind of thin at times. But the high road is always worth it. And cancer also lets us know that our life does not have to be perfect. We do not have to make everybody else happy. We can't necessarily be what other people want us to be. Somehow we got to have the freedom to do our best and to be me, and sometimes being me and you has got to be enough. I'm sure all of you have had like tunes and stuff that get in your head, and you keep humming them and you drive everybody crazy. Like, for example, Kyrie eleison. You know, I sing it at home. I'm in the kitchen, and Q is next door in the living room, and I go, Kyrie eleison, and my moderately autistic and teenage son goes, Dad. And now I got him, so I go, hello, Q, I love you. I'm going to hug you every day. And he goes, oh, Dad, that's awful. Don't touch me. For some reason, this past week, I heard the song From a Distance. And it's ironic, when I think of the words From a Distance, when I step back, I realize that I too often live my life too close, because all I see is myself. I get up in the morning and I see my journey and my schedule and my agenda, what I have to do. What is it that will make me happy? And when I do that, I got to step back, because from a distance, I see more. From a distance, I have the room to see other people. From a distance, I have the room to feel others' pain. From a distance, I have the room to see what other people need, not just myself. Because from a distance, it's not all about me. It's not all about what my world wants and what I do. From a distance, it's about the spirit of everybody. It's about the whole human community. It's about that which binds us together. And why was Jesus here for such a short time? I mean, he was only 33. He preached for 3 years. Because it wasn't until Jesus left that his disciples could step back from a distance and not just see Jesus the man, but see Jesus' spirit in the people and the moments around them. Last night, to the music of lead shoes and lighted candles, I was able once again to see the world from a distance. And somehow God invited each one of us to share in each other's journey and not to be so stuck just on my journey. You know, you got to say, I'm not going to let cancer take over my life. I want you, Lord, in the goodness of the human spirit and the power of prayer to take over my life so I can take the moments that I do have and make a difference. You know, each day I think of somebody different. And as I walked out back, I stepped back and I looked at the church from a distance. And I could see the whole church. And I could see you. And you may think of somebody else, but this morning I was thinking of Kieran Conway, and we talked about him at the beginning of the service. I remember when I first met him at your birthday party years ago. And like I said, you know, I went up to him afterwards and I said, you know, I'd like you to sing at our church. He said, you don't need an Irish singer like me to sing at your church. And I said, yes, we do. And for 8 years in a row, Kieran came here and sang at our All Saints dinner. I mean, the place was packed. People couldn't wait to get in. And then he was diagnosed with cancer and couldn't sing anymore, so he opened up this coffee shop in New Buffalo. For years, Kieran touched our heart. He touched our soul. He was more than an entertainer. He somehow symbolized the joy and the energy of the human spirit when we get together. And now his cancer is back with an absolute vengeance. You see, when he first came here, I just saw Kieran as an entertainer, as a comedian, as somebody we paid to entertain our church. Now I step back from a distance and I see Kieran the man, the child of God, who's on a tough journey. And we realize once again, in so many ways, our time is really short. And in that time, I never want to lose the miracle and the magic of every single day. Amen. If you're able to, please rise for the creed. It's on page 105.